So I was supposed to film this 3 hours ago, but then I got hiccups and other things. And obviously, you don't want to hear that while recording. So it is now 2 a.m. This is the final episode of The Devil Judge. I have enjoyed this show immensely. It's probably been one of my favorite shows that I've watched so far, with the issues that it deals with. I really hope the ending is as good as I have it in my head, which is weird because obviously it probably won't be anything like the end. And I just hope I'm not disappointed with how, because this show has been so great, and the issues that it raises, such as the power that Chancellor has, the issues with the police government. Oh, there's a lot of things you can talk about. So this is the longest episode. I probably will pause it, which it's not the best when it's 2 a.m., but it is such a good show that it needs to be paused to be spoken about. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Okay, so it is almost 4 a.m. because obviously I paused the video. What I will say is, did I love the ending? No. Did it make sense? Yes. Is this show really well done? Absolutely. I loved it. So much went on. A lot went on. They kind of had to get rid of Kang Yohan to kind of build the suspense. It was very obvious he didn't die. It just wouldn't make sense for him to die that way. It would just wouldn't feel right for how the character has been throughout the whole show. So for him to survive and leave at the end, and I guess they believe he died in the explosion, so he gets to kind of live as both a hero and a villain, but he gets to live his life. And as we saw, maybe Ilya will have technology in the future to help her walk. Again, didn't love the ending. I just, yeah. But overall, this show is magnificent. I love the twists and turns and how everyone turns on one another. It was very clear that the gentleman with the cane had turned, otherwise they wouldn't have kept highlighting him. He was very pensive throughout the episode, and he wouldn't engage in the same rhetoric as everyone else, which made you go, uh, he has switched sides. In the explosion, we saw two deaths completely, well, maybe three deaths shown, but I'm guessing everyone died in that explosion. If they survived, we weren't given any evidence that they survived. But I like that all their crimes were shown, including the three women, because we had them at the dinner table or the dining table discussing the situation, and more or less saying we're the ones in control. Our husbands are just mouthpieces for us. They were never innocent, and I like that. It showed their villainy. Yeah, and at least they got justice for those who died throughout the show, because obviously we lost people. I will say this, and I'm very unhappy about it, is uh, Chanson's assassin sidekick, that nothing happened to her. I just honestly felt taking her character out, a way for her to die, would have really been so magnificent, because it would have really elevated her character. In the end, it just felt like she was fodder for the show and not utilized in the correct way. I just really think they really misstepped in getting rid of her character. Getting rid of her character is also getting rid of a problem. And it would have just been so magnificent to see it, because her dying in say her in her doing a business transaction, whatever she was going to do, would just really elevated it. So I'm very disappointed. Um, the professor not dying. Yeah, that was very clear he wasn't going to die when he was tied up. It was just like, really, this man gets to live. Yes, he goes down in history as a villain himself, but he still gets to live. And eventually people forget about you. I don't know. it was so interesting watching the end where nothing had changed and hearing Kim Go-on say it's not changed. It never will change. Those in power, once the others are taken out, will take a step forward, and we were shown that. I mean, he was constantly kind of belittled about his youth, um, his grand ideas. It was like you people knew what happened. Also, the fact that it definitely was painting Kang Yohan as a villain for them, which makes sense. I imagine citizens view Kang Yohan more as a hero, and people in power will view him as a villain. Powerful episode, beautifully shot. Cinematography is amazing. The acting was fantastic. The characters really brought you on a roller coaster. We got to see some characters kind of go back to their home lives and survive and show that they are changed forever, but for the better. We lost quite a few people along the way. Uh, I will say they didn't really tie up all loose ends. Like that girl that was found, we don't know what happened to her afterwards. We just saw the video evidence, things like that. I'm surprised. There were things that happened that you makes you go, well, this was really easy. But it is a wrap up episode, and I think they had very grand ideas that they probably could have used another episode or two to flesh out. I love this show. Has been one of my favorite shows that I've watched. It's my type of show. And so, yeah, I mean, it's left very open ended, I guess, but also really bittersweet because Kim Gon has no one. Yes, he has a position of power, and there is some respect for him, some not. But I don't know. Do you know what I really would have loved is if he had walked off with Kang Yohan. I'm not talking about it in a romantic way, but if they had left together, I think that would have been way more poignant. But again, love this show, and I really think everyone should watch it. Chansona being the one to take herself out makes so much sense. The, the only person who should take her out is herself. She knew she lost. She knew there was no way to come back, and she knew she would never have the sway or power she would have again. And she was like, "Okay, checkmate. Let me be the one to take myself out. Killing the president, nah." And then the explosions that went on. Technically, we only saw one person die from the explosion, the one with the cane. We never actually saw what happened to anyone else. But at least their crimes were shown to the public. But it also is a good instance to show how in society you are easily manipulated. And I think this show itself is something that manipulates all of us by liking a character, not liking a character, being shocked at scenarios. And that is a good thing because it means that we get to view the social structure of the show. I just think it raises a lot of issues and smartly done. I would advise anyone to watch this show. Who was your favourite character? Did you have a favourite episode or scene if you can remember them? Who did you think was going to die and survive? Who did you want to die? Who did you want to survive? And how would you rate that ending?